What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Overdose. Today, I'm joined with a special guest. Introduce yourself.
My name is Coley. What's up, guys?
All right, Miss Coley. Yes. We are about to look at a title that says "The Future of Polygamy" or "Polygamous." Oh, I'm sorry. The future is polygamous. I should say the correct title. What are your thoughts on just the title by itself?
So when I first see the title alone, I mean, it makes me just think, obviously relationships are changing these days.
Yes.
Dating is different than what it used to be.
Okay.
And being kind of involved in something similar, I thought, you know what, I can speak a little bit on this. But I do think, talking to my friends, that, again, we're changing with the way we date people.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. If you like this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to follow her, the links will be in the description below as well. Let's start this video, and I'm going to get your perspective of what he says.
Cool.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Lifetime, there will be a shift in societal attitudes and a powerful movement to normalize polygamy, one man marrying multiple women. I'll go further. I predict that this movement will not be spearheaded by men, but by women. In fact, the right to share a man in marriage and to be one of many wives is going to become a rallying cry of feminism. Right now, that might seem outlandish. A man having multiple wives, that seems like a male fantasy, the ultimate expression of the patriarchy. Why would women, under the banner of feminism, ever push for such an arrangement to become normal? If that seems unbelievable to you, just take a step back and consider how much feminism has changed in the last 50 years. If you took a feminist from the 1960s and you put her in a time traveling machine to the modern day and you showed her what currently passes as feminism, she wouldn't believe it. I've got her in my time machine, I take her to the current day, and I show her interviews of pop stars who are dancing around on stage and in music videos dressed in barely anything, mimicking sex moves. And I tell her that these women are feminist icons doing it for female empowerment. Then I show her how women dress on a night out. I take her to nightclubs and she sees all the women in mini skirts and tight dresses and low-cut tops. And I tell her that any suggestion that these women should dress more modestly would now be considered chauvinistic. I show her Instagram.
What are your thoughts on this before we continue?
Yeah, okay.
That was pretty deep.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said here.
Yeah.
So first of all, I think people confuse what polygamy is.
Okay.
I think they think it's what do they call that? Religion, where they actually have multiple wives.
I think Muslim or
something. Yeah, Mormon kind. Yeah. So, but to me, that's not what it's about. I think it's about the fact that, I think to his point, guys for a while have wanted to have multiple girlfriends or share girls. They're cool with that. Girls typically are very possessive, right?
Okay.
But I think he was one like myself. I probably have more of a guy mindset, I guess you could say. I still like
masculine
to feel,
mindset,
like a princess and do all of that. But I think when it comes to exploring, right? So I think one thing being married, I didn't like that my journey was over, right? I still wanted to meet people, and it's not to say I didn't love that person, but you can love, he might serve this part of my life and things I need, and this other person serves other things that I need, right?
Yes.
And also I think me as well as others, even girls included, we don't like to be smothered, right? We don't want, me especially, I don't want you to call me, text me all day. I prefer a little bit of space, right? But when you're dating
hold on,
with someone,
pause for just a second. So you would say that most women would agree with you with that statement?
I think yes. I mean, I think they want to be, they want to, I have to say this, girls want to hear from their guy every day, right? And I think if someone does not say good night, for example, issue. I can see if you continuously do that, you don't text me good night after you're out with the boys, whatever. I'm pissed, right? I think people would agree with that. But what I also have seen with them, at least my friend group, even ones who are very, want to be with one person, they start living together, and they're like, now I feel like they're there all the time, and it starts to make, I don't want to use the word annoying, but it's a lot,
Okay, so, got you. So for you, does a guy have to meet a certain requirement to be in a polygamous relationship, or you prefer a polygamous relationship off bat?
That's a great question. Yes. I mean,
I stay with great questions.
So I wouldn't say I have to start with it off the bat, right? I think it's something you kind of have to, I don't go out looking for that, right? I want to make sure this guy's cool with this. It's more is that kind of what fits what we both want and need, right?
Okay, gotcha.
I have a guy right now that I'm kind of talking to, and it's more just the two of us. He definitely would not be cool with that. I have another person where, we both agree that the journey would be over. We kind of feel the same way about needing things. So
okay, and pause for just a second. So when you say polygamous relationship, give me clarification. Do you mean multiple women and then one guy, or do you mean multiple guys and you?
That's actually, again, I'm still kind of new to this.
Okay.
So I think if I would say what I've experienced, it is one guy right now, and there's 2 or 3 girls that I would say he talks to. I wouldn't even call us girlfriends because like I'm not going to his parents' house for Christmas and stuff like that, right? Yeah. But there's a few of us involved. We all talk. Me and a couple girls talk, but we all kind of go run it through each other first if it's something we want to do.
Okay, gotcha.
Could I see it being another guy? I mean, yeah. I think that's only fair, right? I mean, especially for me.
No, but go ahead. I personally don't think it is, but go ahead.
I think probably some wouldn't, but when I look at it from my point of view, I'm like, well, yeah, I might want to have another boyfriend the same way this guy has another girlfriend, right?
It makes
the question would be then, like I said, we all communicate. So, but what if this person was not involved in the whole group? So like, I guess it could be a difference there.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So for you personally, and then I want to tie it back to the first question that I asked you. You said the situation determines the polygamy or monogamy, or the character of the guy, meaning like the value of the guy? Like, for instance, it could be just an average dude that you're dating, and he's like average. He meets some of your requirements, but he's not like the top dude that you find ideally. And he wants a polygamous relationship. Would you still be okay with a polygamous relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Here's my thing. I'm open to trying anything. That's kind of like my rule of life. I will try it. And to your point, if it is someone that's not like the top of the, again, if it works for him and I can benefit from it, let's give it a shot, right?
Okay.
Would it be my first suggestion? But maybe not.
Okay.
If he brought it up, I was like, hey, I want to do this. I'd be like, okay, let's see where it goes.
Okay.
I think communication is key with all of it. No matter how you do it, you got to all communicate.
I would agree 100%. And now I'm gonna ask you one more, then we're gonna get back into the video. But I want to ask you, what exactly what exactly are you looking for in a relationship?
Just in a general relationship.
Yes, just in general.
Freedom is first and foremost.
Okay.
I want us to both have that freedom to travel, to be out. Like, I don't need to know what you're doing 24/7 or be with you 24/7.
Okay.
That's something that makes me feel a little smothered. So freedom is one. Attention, obviously. Yes, I want you to dote on me, text me. Like, who doesn't really want that, right?
Okay.
I want support. I want someone to make me better.
Okay.
And push me to be better. I think that's very key in a relationship, just even in friendships too. I want them to be just a motivated person, like to have adventures. I think that's the biggest part that ties into this as well. You're gonna be an adventurous, like curious person.
Okay.
You can't be basic and want to live in a picket fence in the country. That's kind of not the person that might fit with this. I'm not gonna say I want it, but when I think of who would be open to that, I don't see someone that wants that perfect little life that's gonna be.
Okay, got you. And I lied. I have one more question. So, do you tend to? I think I even forgot the question. So we're gonna move on to the video. All right, let's get back into the video.
And OnlyFans, and tell her that there are women, even some of them teenagers, who are taking off their clothes for strangers on the internet and saying that they have never felt more empowered. The feminist from the 1960s would think that I'm playing some kind of practical joke on her. She's like, I'm not going to buy this. There's no way that this is real. This is a male fantasy world. These women have reduced themselves to the level of sex objects just to appease the male gaze. No, I'm not buying it. There's no way that this could be considered female empowerment. And yet, this is what has happened. And as jarring as it may be to that original 1960s feminist who wanted women to enter the workplace and to have a life completely separate to men, an existence that was meaningful and not defined by her relationship to men, this is what has happened. And what's more, I'd say it is entirely predictable, even inevitable. Feminism was always going to become a movement that fought for female freedom, a woman's right to choose whatever life she wants. Whether you're a female CEO or a mother of 3 or an escort, feminism has your back, because in feminism, the merits of your choice isn't as important as the fact that as a woman, you have a choice. And so, when all choices for women are equally valid under the guise of feminism, it's not a surprise what happens. It shouldn't shock anybody that human beings are pretty lazy and we are inclined to take shortcuts if they're available to us. This is a truth about humanity. Women are no exception to this. And even the original feminists shouldn't be surprised that some women just aren't interested in climbing the corporate ladder. They don't want to put in that amount of work. Having a successful career requires years of effort and study and hard work. And so what happens if you destigmatize the easier options, like taking your clothes off for strangers on the internet, or marrying some rich older man and living off his wealth? It shouldn't be a surprise that lots of women will take those options.
What are your thoughts on that? Give us your perspective.
Well, where do I start? Okay, I'm going to start addressing like the nudes part of it, right?
Okay,
so first of all, I think empowerment to me, like women empowerment, means just supporting each other. I don't think it's about like, do it my way or you doing this, so it's wrong. I mean, to me, it's like if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and like that makes you happy and good for you.
I would definitely agree that it should be about that, but I would also disagree that it's not about that.
You're actually right. No, you're right. Like to me, it's what it means, but you're right. People don't do it that way. You actually are very right. And people, girls do hate on each other for because you do send news. I'll give you an example to the news part. So I'm probably the wrong one to ask about that, but I'm known in my friend group. I love being naked.
Okay.
I love taking nudes. I do them for myself sometimes. Like not saying I'm the hottest person. I just enjoy naked people. I think I can appreciate that, right? Not just like in a sexual way. So my friend group chat, like I'm known for in the morning sending a nude, on Fridays 8 a.m. Like good morning. Like it's just what I do.
I just wake up to. Oh shit, Cole's sending me nudes.
And my friends were like, I can't open your snaps anymore because I don't know what it's going to be this time. Like so. But it's
not about to be crazy.
Yeah. So be careful about that. So that's why I think, again, I'm very different. But what I love about my group of girls is most of them are not cool with that. They don't even have one nude on their phone.
Oh, wow.
So there are people who, yes, probably do judge me for that. They think this girl is just, she's out there, right? She's wild.
Yeah.
And they don't like me, and that's okay, right? But to me, what I love is my girls do show that definition of like what I think empowerment should be. They all support me. They're like, you do you, girl. Like they would not do some of the things that I do.
Question.
Yes.
Why do you do that?
Well, again, I just love being naked. I do. So I've been told I have really good boobs. So my friends always, they like my boobs. So I usually, it's just like a tit pic. I'm not doing all like full nudes all the time. I just like being naked, and it makes me feel good, I guess, in a way. Like I like sharing it. To me, if you have a great naked body, whatever, like it's okay. If you want to share it, that's okay.
Okay, pause. Disclaimer here. This only works for females. Do not do this if you're a guy. Do not send nudes.
Please, yes.
Don't ever. Matter of fact, I would say never send nudes. Even if she requests it, don't say. Just be like, I don't send nudes. Whatever. Blah blah blah. You can see it in person. Just never even engage in that situation. Now we can get back to your perspective.
No, you're right. And again, this is my group of girls. Like I'm not out there sending it to all my boys. Like that's not the case. Yeah, let me clarify that. It's just with girls. But I do agree. I mean, don't feel like you ever need to or should make a guy like you. That's not what it's about. To me, it's just if I could live in a nudist colony, I probably would. Right? Like I like to just be free, and that's kind of why I like taking them.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Okay. What about anything that he said, particularly about the female movement of the dissing of the stuff that the easier route?
Okay, being in the easier route. So like doing the OnlyFans for money, kind of,
Doing the OnlyFans for money, but I think that's an extreme route. I'm more talking about the traditional woman stay at home, the guys out working and doing things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
So again, I think to each his own, right? Okay. I have friends who climb the corporate ladder. I have those who they do stay at home, or they want to just be a simple, retail worker. They're happy doing that, right? That's fine. I think do whatever makes you happy, but I personally am someone that I want to compete with the guys. So like I feel this pressure to be as good as they are,
Okay. Masculine energy alert. Let's go.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna climb the corporate ladder, and I'm gonna get after you. It's like that. I love competition and motivation. And I had a guy at work yesterday. He's like, "You can't do a Tough Mudder," and I'm like, "Well, I wasn't going to, but I am now." So I think when it comes to the easier route, I was always taught, you don't take the easy route out for anything.
Now you might not know about this channel, but the people that's watching right now, they know what about to ask you next. So for you personally, do you feel that may negatively affect your relationships with guys?
Yes. And I have seen it do so.
Okay.
I had a relationship where a great guy, but didn't like that I worked so much. Didn't like that I worked around a lot of men. And again, I have a rule: you don't date, hook up with anyone you work with or clients. I think you just something you just don't do.
Okay, here's another caveat. Yes, you should sometimes. 60%, this is data, 60% of all relationships start in the workplace.
You're not
wrong. So if you was to cut out all the people that work with and clients and things like that, you are literally killing 60% of all your chances.
Yeah.
So I would definitely disagree with that, but I would add a caveat to that and say it depends on how you maneuver that.
Yes.
So just be very, very careful in how you maneuver that because you don't want to end up in HR. But
you don't want drama at work. My sister and her boyfriend, they met at work.
Yeah.
And they're still together. They bought a house recently.
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, I think knowing myself, it would get messy and be drama. So I just stay away from that.
Okay. Understood.
But yes, I think it causes issues because no matter, I think what guys say is my personal opinion. I feel like guys still want to be a little bit better than you.
Okay, no. What do you mean by that? And then we can just rinse the video.
So I don't care how supportive a boyfriend may be, whatever. I think if you start to make more than him, yeah, he's gonna say he's proud of you, good for you. But I think deep down, there's a little bit of like it stings a little bit.
Okay. I gotta let me think about that for just give me like 10 seconds.
Okay.
I would agree, but those are like guys that are maybe more emotional than a more logical dude. Because even if you a guy and you're just not making enough yet or more money than a woman yet, you're not gonna make it feel you some type of way because you know in the future you're gonna be making more money. Now for a guy that's like, I don't know, driven off of ego, emotion, and pride, etc., stuff like that, then yes, I could definitely see him being, you know, my girl makes more than me. Right. But I would ask you and add a caveat to, does the woman change because she makes more?
Yes, I think so.
Because then it becomes about a reaction and not a feeling that you have. Now your girl might be disrespecting you. Now your girl might be giving you masculine energy and challenging your position, and you have to and now you have to be more masculine, or you have to, you know, be submissive.
Yep.
So I would just add.
I think that's where if you don't communicate about it,
got you.
Someone's gonna feel a certain way.
And I agree with you about this communication thing. You really killing this. Communication is key.
I've learned that the hard way. Trust me. It's about being open, even when it's uncomfortable. Like you have to talk about stuff, or like think about your head spirals on things sometimes, and if you don't address it, like you're already down a hole, and you now believe it. You know what I mean? There's really no convincing you otherwise. You know, so. I think you gotta address it like head on. That's why I think if someone's about to start making a lot of money, or even they just came into it, like you need to talk about that now. Okay. Because I think that's where down the road it can get really messy again.
Gotcha.
You know? It's gonna become an issue, I think. But yeah, I think women do probably act different. I do. I mean, I'm not saying all are probably gonna be, you know, demanding to their husband or boyfriend or be the boss, but they probably carry themselves a little different. Like, I do kind of run shit, you know. I'm sure.
See what I mean? That's that masculine energy. All right, let's continue on with the video.
So perhaps being a trophy wife isn't as impressive as being a CEO. You don't have that respect, you don't have that status, but you do have access to a lot of wealth, and it came about a lot easier. If you feel tempted to criticize a woman's choice for being a prostitute or being a gold digger, be careful. Remember that this is a woman's choice, and feminism is about respecting a woman's choice. You don't want to be anti-feminine.
Okay. Here's where I definitely disagree with feminism. If feminism is about respecting your choice, I definitely disagree with you, because you have the option and the free will to make a choice, but I don't have to respect your choice. So I just definitely got to add that for myself.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I definitely have to add that.
It doesn't matter what the choice is. The fact is that the woman made a choice, and that's what makes it empowering. Now, my prediction is that in the future, this exact same reasoning and logic is going to be applied in a movement to normalize polygamy. Women are going to want to destigmatize marrying one husband amongst lots of women. So here's my reasoning. Women are hypergamous, okay? So they want to marry the high...
Do you know... Oh, he's about to explain it. Never mind. I'm sorry, Alexander. I'm sorry.
Status mate that they can. They want him to be strong and handsome, which means that he has good genes, which will get passed on to their children. They also want him to be rich and successful so that he can provide for their children and also give her a luxurious lifestyle. Now, in Western society...
Do you know what hypergamy means now?
Yep.
Okay, it just means to date up. It just means to date up in either money, class, status.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every year that goes past, the gap between the winners and the losers of society gets bigger. Fewer and fewer men can claim to be at the top of the pyramid, whereas the number of men who feel like they're at the bottom of the pyramid continues to increase. In terms of resources, the rich men are ruling society, and they create laws to protect that wealth. And so the rich are getting richer, but the poor people can't escape the inertia of poverty. This gap is also widening in terms of biology, because good-looking men tend to marry good-looking women and they have children together, which means that the good-looking genes get all concentrated in those families, whereas ugly people are marrying other ugly people, creating ugly children, and the gap just gets bigger and bigger. But in practical terms, what this means is that there is this small percentage
No
of men in
sugarcoating
top of
that.
society who have the resources, the status, the good looks, and all of the women want to be with these guys, but they can't all have them. There's not enough guys to go around.
What is your perspective of what he just said? When it comes to the gap is getting bigger, and then the women don't want the average dudes no more. They want the guy at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think girls are definitely really picky. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do feel bad for, as he said, the ugly people.
Got you.
I do. But what's interesting is, and I feel like maybe it's just me, maybe I don't know if anyone else agrees, I've noticed lately, though, that guys are dating not so pretty girls. Like, I'll see some really hot guys, and I'm like, wait, what? Or vice versa. I mean, I see some girls, so I don't know if that's just a settling factor or what's happening there, but I think, yeah, ultimately, and I'll give you another example. I have some friends on Tinder and, Hinge, all these.
Got you.
I'm not on those. But they will go for guys, and I love them, but I'm like, no offense, that guy is probably not going to date you. I mean, my friends.
Oh, meaning like he's like
beautiful.
super duper attractive. Got you.
And I'll tell them, I'm like, dude, that guy, I'm like, really? I mean, he wouldn't even. Let's be real. He's dating models here. Like, we're
Got
beautiful.
you.
We're not models. You know.
Got you.
I mean, I have to be realistic with myself about that too. But I think, I mean, everyone, when it comes to having children, especially women, they want, like you said, those good genes.
Okay.
They want security.
Okay. So make sure. Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Okay. She's on the train. Let's get it. Let's keep it moving.
And unfortunately, monogamy is the enforced social structure of our society, and any straying from that brings about some social stigma. The top status man takes a single wife, and all of the other women who wanted to be with him, they all have to settle for, lower to middle of the road man, all the while secretly wishing that they could have been desirable enough to get that guy. Now, for lots of women, monogamy will always be the preferred relationship structure, because they like the feeling of having exclusive use of that one man's resources, and they like the fact that they exclusively get to enjoy his affection and his devotion. But there is also a sizable minority of women who look at the quality of men that they would have to settle for in monogamy, and they think, that doesn't really interest me. He's not that attractive. He's not rich or powerful or have a lot of social status. Getting to enjoy his exclusive attention, that's not that appealing to me. But
quick question, I don't think I've asked you yet.
Okay.
What gives a guy more value for you personally? Is it money? Is it looks? Is it status? Or is it his like personality and game type of thing?
I actually had this conversation with my friend recently, and I didn't even know the answer at first. And when we dug in, I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm a little shallow. I'll be honest.
Okay.
And I didn't think I was.
Let's keep it on. Okay.
Because I've gotten away from like you gotta have abs and stuff. But anyway, so when my friend asked me that question, he's like, when you go into a room, right? Let's just say you go to a bar.
Yep.
What first makes you go up to someone? Or,
Okay.
Right? So you start with looks. So I like darker hair. I don't know. It varies, right?
Okay.
But I think when you really dive into it, I actually do like someone with a little bit of status. I'm not saying they'd be famous.
Okay.
But I want you to be either like doing really well at work,
Okay.
Again, I love people. I know a lot of people. I like you to have a lot of groups of friends and like
Got
be
you.
well known in a way.
Okay.
Because I noticed my friend made an example. He's like, you'll come home and go, oh, I met a baseball player. Or I met this. I'm like, I actually don't care about that, but I'm like, maybe like I do.
I
A
do.
little bit.
Yeah.
It does attract me. I'm not saying I go for that, but yeah, that's definitely gonna put you ahead of someone else that I just met at a bar. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, so thinking about it right now, I want you to give me the hierarchy of
All right.
money, looks, status, personality.
Okay.
What's at the top?
I'm gonna have to start with looks, even though personality is going to be like that, and personality are hand in hand. I don't need you to be the hottest guy.
Okay.
But I've got to be attracted to you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't not be. Number two would be personality. I don't really give a shit about money. I'm gonna take care of myself anyway. I don't really want it to be a matter of I need your money. That's a nice to have, trust me.
Yeah.
But I would say personality, and I want you to not just be like a fun person. I want you to be able to have good conversations with me. Like, I need to be like intellectually stimulated.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I would say, your career.
Okay.
So it's not money, but it's like do you have a passion and a career? You aren't just like...
Are you driven? Are you... Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like, drive is huge to me.
Okay. And then the last one would be the status.
Oh, yeah.
See? Now we got a problem. See? All right, but I want you to think about it, but I want you to continue the video.
All right, I forgot about status. Now that you say that, I would actually put that ahead of looks. Because I will say, I'm being real here. Yeah. I've met some people where at first I'm like, oh, I know, we were at a show. This guy was sitting at a table, and I kind of like walked by him. I'm like, whatever. Then he gets up and starts DJing, and I was like, oh, now he's like really cute. Like, I'm being honest, you know?
Status. So status is your number uno mana.
Yeah, I think
got
it is.
it. Okay. All right.
I think it is.
All right. We learned something here, fellas.
So, I'm learning about myself, as we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And normally that is the actually the thing is like mouthpiece, but that comes with status, that comes with looks, that comes with money. So now like mouthpiece and game and personality, that's like...
Is that the same for you too, would you say? You think status?
I mean, hell no. For guys, it's completely different from girls.
Okay, I'm curious. Can you tell me?
So for guys, and for me personally, it's about looks, attractiveness. It's about fitness. It's about being complimentary towards the guy that you're going to be with. Like if you have masculine energy, are you fighting me all the time? Are we having a conversation and I say, let's go to blah, 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 real quick. Why do we got to go there? We went there last week. But you know what I mean? So it's being complimentary to our relationship. What else? That's about it. So being fitness, being in shape, being attractive, being complimentary, and wanting to make a team instead of being combative.
That's really good. That's good to know.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting.
Most guys would definitely agree. We don't care about how much money you make. Maybe you can have your own. Some people can say yes, some people say no. But I mean, honestly, we'll take a beautiful dime piece at homeless versus an average girl who makes $100,000 a year.
But is the intellect important? Like,
is the intellect important for me? Now, this one is where a lot of different guys gonna have different answers. Yep. For me personally, I would say no, because I could mold her. See, so that's where it comes with the being complimentary and being able to be guided. I can definitely guide someone to intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just me personally.
Okay. That super rich CEO or that movie star, he's really appealing to me. He's twice as good looking as most men. He's 50 times as wealthy and probably has like 1,000 times as much fame.
Got it.
Sure, of course, I'd love to have him all to myself. But if I'm being honest, I would rather share that amazing guy with another woman than to have the exclusive attention of some chump. With this super high status guy...
Okay, he said something very interesting and I want your perspective. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
With what exactly you just said. I would rather have a hot than be sharing the high value dude, etc., or just the chump, so to speak, by yourself.
I think yes.
Okay. All right.
I do.
Okay.
We
out here. All right, let's continue.
I get access to all of his wealth, all of his resources. My children are going to have his genes. Yes, it's less than ideal that I have to share him with other women, but think about how exciting my life will be. Now, what's important for you to realize is that there are already women who think like this, except that they have to settle for having affairs with already married men, and they risk an intense amount of social stigma for doing so. Enter the mindset of feminism. I'm a woman and this is my choice. Why should I feel ashamed? This is how I choose to empower myself. Can you see how this could start to occur? How women who have had to hide their choice to share a powerful, high-status man will begin to resent the fact that they have a social stigma attached to their choices, and they will begin a social movement to normalize. I actually...
Okay, hold on. I have to say something.
Talk yourself. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think...
It's your show. I'm just listening.
I just go. But when he said that part about... them, like, that's how I empower myself. Mm-hmm. I think that's a cop-out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think girls that tell themselves deep down, you're kind of, I don't want to say you're selling your soul to the devil kind of thing, but like you're letting go some of your self-worth just to make an excuse because you want this money. Like, to me, it's like money is so important, and like you being taken care of is so important that you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of your self-worth to give up. Like, but yeah, she might want to actually be with this guy. Am I?
No. I want to have this conversation Yeah, let's have this conversation.
Okay.
So why does it have to be you giving up your self-worth?
I just think that, okay, again, there's people who, again, like the polygamy thing, they actually genuinely are okay with sharing and like they want to.
Yes.
There are others who they force themselves to be okay with it when it's really actually hurting them, right?
Okay.
It's like this one he's talking about. I obviously don't know who he's talking about, but maybe she is someone who's like, yeah, the money and that's so important, and me having the kids and being taken care of, like I don't, like she's not ever going to be truly happy because what she's really deep down wants is she wants that companionship, right?
Got you.
So either she can just compartmentalize well and she just puts that aside and doesn't give a shit, or I think it's kind of a cop out to be like, well, that's me empowering myself. It's like, no, it's not. Like deep down, you know, you want that love and compassion, but you're going to settle for this because that means more to you.
Okay, now here's the pushback I would give.
Okay.
It seems like you would be unhappy in some type of way either way. So which one would be more beneficial for you and your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids? So me being a guy, I'm obviously thinking about it logically. So I want to get your perspective of emotionally speaking wise of settling down with a quote unquote average dude who won't have as much resources as the other dude, who won't have as much good genes and look good as the other dude, versus your kids will be beautiful, your kids will have money, your kids will have all this stuff, but yeah, he's not going to be there all the time. He's going to be cheating on you.
I think it's like a business partnership.
It's
two different things. Like the average guys to me is more about the love and family. You don't care. You don't care about your kids are going to be fine. So like at the end of the day, they come from a loving family, and I get the love and compassion I want. On the other side, to me, I see that working for some people. Yeah, it's a business proposition. It's not about I love you and I want you to come cuddle me at night. It's about we have things we're going to provide, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you do your part. You know, but that, to me, that pulls out the love and compassion piece of it. I mean, I don't know many, and maybe I'm wrong.
But I gotta ask why? Why does it?
Why does what?
Why does it pull back push out the love department?
Because I think this didn't come from I love you, you love me, and this happens to work out. This came from like I want this from you. You want this, but in order to do that, I have to share you. So it's kind of like you're giving things up to make it work. Whereas the average couple who's truly in love, yeah, she might have given up money, but it's like at the end of the day, she has someone that she feels like loves her, is there for her support. So you can't guarantee this guy does. He's there to give you, again, money, babies, and shopping, right? I mean, that's it. I mean, in a nice house. It's like, to me, it's not about that. And I'm not saying there aren't couples who aren't in love and have all of that. Yes. I've seen that too, but I think that's very few. I think with what he's talking about, when they make this deal or arrangement, it's like, that to me is not empowerment, because you're kind of giving things up to be happy, I think.
I would definitely disagree because it just depends on the context of the situation. Me personally, I have money right now, so I can try to put myself in a position where I don't have money and I have kids to feed and I don't have the resources to make sure that my kid's okay. So that's why I can't agree with you and say that that's like giving up yourself when it's just something that you're doing to make sure you and your kids survive.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, but at the same time, they are giving up something of their happiness.
I got you.
Now, it is for their kids. And you're right. Kids are parents' lives. And it's great. But they are still giving up what makes them happy. You know?
I can agree to disagree. Let's get it.
I think that it's already begun. Now, of course, a word like polygamy, it's not got a good association with it. It sounds too patriarchal. There's too many negative connotations. It's like the word prostitute. You know, nobody thinks positively of prostitutes. But hey, let's rebrand it and call it sugar babies. And
I do. I'm telling you right now. We need prostitutes for sure. That should need to be legal.
Suddenly it's like this new exciting thing. That's okay. So let's not call it polygamy. Let's call it polyamory. Now, polyamory is a complex movement. I'm not trying to oversimplify it. Lots of people try polyamory for different reasons, and for some people at certain stages of their life, it is actually a sensible choice. But I believe that the groundwork for polygamy is right now being laid in the culture of polyamory. And I think that the seeds that are planted there will ultimately be the fruits that ripen.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this real quick?
So this made me think of kind of another piece that ties into this, like the whole swinger lifestyle.
Okay.
I think all those words don't sound good, right?
Got you.
They don't. People don't hear that and go, "Oh, cool, good for you."
I want to do that. Yeah.
Even my friends that are swingers, they're a little bit older, but they don't use that word. They call it a lifestyle because if they come out and say that, then people think they're just gross.
Because it automatically has a negative connotation on that word.
Yep. Yes. And I think, when he said that this is the seed that's planted, I think, again, it's kind of like different for everyone. Like even the swinger lifestyle, like it's not just done one way. It's like some do certain things. Everyone has boundaries. I think that's going to be the same with polyamorous relationships is it's all going to depend on, again, your communication and what you both want from it. I mean, I'm sure the one that I've experienced is very different from others, right? There might not be as much compassion or attention. I don't know, but I think it's going to look different for everyone.
Okay.
I do.
Got you. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this into 2 parts. So I want you to tell everyone where is your Instagram and where can they find you really quickly.
It is at The Real Colicles. And that's COLIE. Yes, I did think I had to
All right. You don't even know how to spell it. All right. So that's going to be in the description below. And I'll catch you on the next one, part 2. Peace.
Bye, guys.